In some songs, you play 4 strums in a bar. In other songs, you play 3 strums in a bar. But apart from doing simple down strums, how else can you strum a song like this? Well, let me tell you something, it's easier than trying to catch the wind. I love this song, I love everything about it, but it's also a really great song for beginner guitarists. Now, even though there are a few fiddly parts in the original, you can still play this and it'll sound great. It's got 3 beats in the bar, which is also known as 3/4 time, so something different from the usual 4/4 time songs that we've been practicing. It's only got 3 chords and you'll be using G, C and D major, and the chord progression is almost the same the whole way through, so not too complicated. Now before we get into the song, let's have a quick look at the chords you're going to use. So G looks like this, and there are a couple of ways to play it, like this way, which is the way I like it, or there's also this alternative way here, and an extremely basic version like this. So if your fingers still aren't able to stretch over the fretboard, then try this basic version here, but only play the top 4 strings, D, G, B and top E string. But I recommend the first shape. Stick around and you'll see why. The C chord can also be played a couple of different ways, like this here with 3 fingers, or like this with 4 fingers. Now I like the 4-finger way for 2 reasons. First, it has a really nice full sound. And second, well, again, stick around and you'll see why as we go through this tutorial. For D, this is the one I go for. If you need any help with those chords, then click the links in the description. That'll take you to a playlist for full tutorials for all the chords you're going to need for this particular guitar tutorial. Now, as a beginner guitarist, you're always trying to improve various areas of your guitar playing. Now in this tutorial we're going to try and improve your strumming and your chord transitions. But before we do that, let's have a quick look at the chord progression itself. So here's the chord progression, and there are 2 parts to it. One is for the odd numbered verses and one for the even numbered verses. And there's not much difference between the 2 except the ends of each of those chord progressions. And if you look carefully at the final 4 bars, you'll see the only difference. In the odd numbered verses, you've got 2 bars of G, then 2 bars of D. But in the even numbered ones, you've got a bar of G, then a bar of C, and then 2 bars of G before you go into the next verse. Now what about the strumming pattern? Well, as I've said, each bar has 3 strums, okay, so like this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is the easiest way to strum it. Now it may sound basic, but it is pretty effective. Now if you want to jazz it up a little bit, try it like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So listen to this. I'm going to play the down strum pattern and then the slightly more complex pattern together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So here's the pattern on the screen, and you can see it's 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and. Now the 1, 2, 3 parts are always on the down beats, down strums, sorry, and the and strums are up strums. And that's it, all the way through, exactly the same. 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and. Before we get into the chord transitions, let me show you how it sounds, first with just down strums and then second with the more complicated pattern. So listen out for those two different patterns and also listen out for the different endings at the end of each progression. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In the chilly hours and minutes of uncertainty, I want to be in the warm hall of your loving mind, to feel you all around me and to take your hand along the sand. Oh, I may as well try and catch the wind. If you're getting value out of this song tutorial, then why not click the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Okay, let's talk about chord transitions. And chord transitions are an area of difficulty for beginners, and that's because you're still developing your muscle memory and also because you've only just begun. So here are a couple of tips to help make the G to C chord transition a little smoother. It all depends on how you play your G chord. How do you play yours? Now I think the best way is like this here, using fingers 2, 3 and 4. Because if you compare the shape with either of the two ways of playing the C chord, there are a few things these two chords have in common. And when chords have fingers in common, you can use that to your advantage. So let's look at the G to C using the 4-finger version of C. And here's G. Now if you're changing to C, what you'll notice is this finger here stays exactly where it is while you put the rest of the chord on around. And having this finger as an anchor can stop you from flailing wildly all over the fretboard trying to get from one chord to another. If we look at G to C using the 3-finger version, now what you'll notice is these two fingers here, the 2nd and the 3rd finger, are on the same fret as when you play the C chord. They are right there. So it's just a matter of lifting up and then a quick hop either to the G or to the C. Because you're in the same position, it's a lot easier. And of course, don't forget to put the rest of the fingers down to form the chord shapes. And that's why I think this way is the best G, especially for beginners. So using this version though means a whole load of moving around and mucking about just to get to the chord shape. And it's just too much going on, way too much. And it will take you a bit more time to get from this to this compared to this to this. So use this one. Let's do a quick practice now, just transitioning from G to C. So play along with me. I'm going to use both versions of the C chord as well. So we'll keep it nice and simple, down strums all the way, 3 beats in the bar. Okay, so just practice along with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. practice this song. It's really good for working on your chord transitions, and it's also really good for that different strumming pattern, that 3/4 strumming pattern. And if you want more help with chord transitions, or you want more song tutorials for beginners like this, then check the below in the description and you'll find links to take you to various playlists. Thanks for joining me today, and happy strumming.